You've been lied to since the day you were born, lied to by your teachers, your parents, society, the media, all of them, and the biggest lie, that being a nice guy will make her love you, that if you're sweet enough, passive enough, polite enough, she'll stay. But let me wake you up to reality. She doesn't want to control you. She wants to feel your power. She wants to test your limits, and when you fold, when you break, she loses respect. And once respect is gone, so is desire. So is loyalty, so is love. Modern men are broken because they've been programmed to chase feminine approval instead of building masculine strength. You scroll through Instagram, see couples smiling, and think, if I just treat her like a queen, she'll treat me like a king. But that's not how it works. You can't buy love with obedience, and yet that's what most men are doing, obeying, submitting, pleading, hoping for love in return. They think being endlessly available makes them attractive. They think saying yes to every demand will earn her heart. They think being emotional, crying in front of her, being open 24/7 is what will make her stay. But that's weakness disguised as virtue. That's the mindset of a slave, not a king, and women weren't made to follow slaves. She's not with you because you're emotional. She's not with you because you compliment her 30 times a day. She's not with you because you buy her flowers. She's with you because you make her feel safe, excited, and led. She wants a man who moves with purpose, not one who asks for permission. She wants a man who can walk away, not one who begs to stay. She wants a man who can say no and mean it. That's what being the man she can't control is really about. It's not arrogance. It's unshakable masculine energy. Let me paint you a picture. A man wakes up every morning and checks his girl's texts first. If she's upset, his whole day is ruined. If she doesn't reply in time, his brain starts spiraling. He cancels the gym, he skips work, he overthinks. What is that? That's not love, that's emotional slavery. And when she sees that your entire life is orbiting around her feelings, she loses respect. She might smile, she might say awa, but deep down she knows you're not the man she is. A man must lead. It's in your DNA. You're not built to follow emotional storms. You're built to weather them. You're not supposed to be the leaf in the wind. You're supposed to be the mountain, silent, unshaken, immovable. And yet, most modern men are emotional leaves. Every time she sighs, they panic. Every time she frowns, they collapse. Every time she says, we need to talk, they crumble like wet paper. You want her to see you as a king, but you act like her pet. And then you wonder why she doesn't treat you like a leader. Here's the real truth. A woman can only love a man she respects, and she can only respect a man she can't manipulate. That means you must be centered. You must be guided by your own compass, not hers. She wants to follow a man who knows where he's going, not a man constantly asking, is this okay, babe? Are you mad? Can we talk? No. You must know. Know what your mission is. Know where your time is going. Know who you are without needing her approval. Because the moment you need her more than she needs you, the balance breaks. And when the balance breaks, attraction dies. So here's your first rule if you want to be the man she can't control. Stop needing her. Start building you. You need to be so focused on your mission, so obsessed with your grind, that her mood swings don't affect your discipline. She texts you, we need to talk. Cool, you respond when you're free. She says, I don't feel like you love me. You don't panic. You don't beg. You don't write 3 paragraphs apologizing for working late. You stay calm. You stay focused. You stay on your path. Because here's what she's secretly testing when she throws those emotional curveballs. Are you still the man? Can you handle pressure without folding? Can you remain composed when things get messy? Can you keep your frame when she's losing hers? If the answer is yes, she submits, not because you demanded it, but because your energy commands it. Women don't want robots. They want real men, but most real men have been destroyed by weak culture. They've been taught to sit down, shut up, be soft, be silent, be passive. You want her love, be softer, be nicer, be more vulnerable. That's the script you've been force-fed. But look around, are these nice guys winning? Are they respected? Are they chased? Or are they ghosted, cheated on, and forgotten? Exactly. You don't fix this by becoming a toxic jerk. You fix this by becoming unshakably masculine. You don't argue with her, you just don't explain yourself. You don't chase her, you pursue greatness. You don't beg her to stay, you give her the option to leave and continue leveling up. That's power, that's respect, that's dominance, and it's not about hurting her, it's about refusing to let her control you with emotional chaos. Ask yourself, when was the last time you made a decision without asking what she would think? When was the last time you said no and didn't feel guilty? When was the last time you chose your purpose over her approval? That's your test. Because a man who can't choose himself over her emotions is a man she will eventually leave. Why? Because if you can't even control your own mind, how can you lead her? You must stop playing by her emotional rules. Women are emotional by nature, that's not bad. It's feminine, but your job is not to match her chaos. Your job is to anchor it. When she storms, you must be the calm. When she complains, you must stay centered. When she panics, you must lead. That's the man she can't control because that's the man she can trust. If your emotions rise every time hers do, you're not her rock. You're her mirror. And women don't want to date a mirror, they want to lean on a mountain. And mountains don't move for anyone. Understand this. You're not built to seek her approval. You're built to build empires. You're not here to text all day. You're here to dominate the world. You're not here to make her feel okay. Every second you're here to be okay with or without her. That's what makes her chase. That's what makes her submit. That's what makes her loyal. You are the leader, but you must reclaim that role. Start by setting boundaries. Start by choosing silence over arguments. Start by replacing over-explaining with action. Start by putting your mission above her reactions. The truth is simple. She will try to test you. She will try to control you. She will try to see if she can shake you. Not because she hates you, but because she wants to know if you're real. If you fail the test, if you fold, flinch, or break, she can never fully trust you again. But if you pass, if you remain calm, focused, and composed, she'll follow you anywhere. So ask yourself right now, are you the man she can't control? Or are you the man she manipulates because you haven't found your backbone yet? The world respects the strong. Women respect the grounded, and only a man who respects himself can demand that same respect from others. Be that man, not by force but by presence, not by volume but by vision, not by chasing but by building, because when you build yourself into a force, she won't want to control you, she'll want to follow you. Dominance, the word alone triggers people. Weak men fear it. Insecure women reject it. Society tries to kill it, but deep down everyone craves it. Why? Because true dominance is not control over others. It's control over self, its direction, its leadership, its silent, immovable power. You want to be the man she can't control. You must become the man who doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to force, doesn't need to convince. You lead by example and people follow. She follows. Now most people hear dominance and picture a guy yelling at his girl, throwing orders, slamming doors, being toxic. That's not dominance. That's insecurity in disguise. That's weak men pretending to be strong. Real dominance doesn't make noise, it makes decisions. A dominant man doesn't argue. He doesn't chase chaos. He sets standards and sticks to them. That's it. And if she respects those standards, she stays. If not, she's free to go. No drama, no begging, no manipulation, because the man in control is never afraid of being alone. He'd rather be by himself than in a relationship where he has no voice, no mission, and no peace. Let's get one thing clear. Women don't want robots. They don't want soulless men who treat them like property. But they also don't want pushovers. They don't want emotional slaves. They don't want indecisive, unsure approval, seeking yes men who live to avoid conflict. They want leadership. They want strength. They want a man who can feel emotion without being ruled by it. There's nothing more powerful than a man who is emotionally aware, but still grounded. A man who sees the drama, smells the storm, hears the chaos, but never lets it break his frame. That's true dominance. So what does this look like in real life? You come home after a long day building your business, pushing your body, sharpening your mind. She's upset because you didn't text back quickly. She starts raising her voice, trying to pull you into an emotional battlefield. What do weak men do? They panic. They start explaining, apologizing, justifying. Baby, I was busy. I swear I didn't mean to ignore you. Please don't be mad. Wrong move. That's not leadership, that's submission. You've just handed her the frame. She's now the captain, you're the passenger. What does a dominant man do? He stays calm, he listens, he doesn't argue, doesn't explain more than necessary. He sets the standard. I had work, I handle my priorities. If that upsets you, I understand, but I'm not going to change my focus for temporary emotions. No shouting, no sarcasm, just boundaries. That's how you break the control game, by never entering it. A woman can only control a man who's emotionally unstable. If you're always reacting, she knows she owns your state. She knows with the right look, the right tone, the right silence, she can manipulate you into anything. But when you stay composed, when you don't flinch under pressure, when your mood doesn't depend on her mood, you become uncontrollable, you become attractive, you become dominant, not because you yelled. Not because you forced anything, but because your energy cannot be moved. Here's the secret. The most dominant men barely raise their voice. Why? Because they don't need to. Their presence speaks louder than words. Their decisions are rooted in logic, not emotion. Their life has purpose, and that purpose dictates their moves, not someone's temporary feelings. Let me tell you what happens when you lead this way. She starts to test less. She starts to trust more. She starts to relax in her feminine energy because she sees finally she's with a man who won't break under pressure. And it's not about making her smaller. It's about you being bigger. Most men shrink themselves in relationships. They get comfortable, they stop leading, they start seeking peace over purpose. They kill their own dominance to keep her happy. But what they don't realize is this. The moment you lose your edge, she starts losing attraction. Because she didn't fall for you when you were weak. She fell for the man who had vision, who had drive, who had discipline. And when that dies, so does her desire. Being dominant is not about controlling her. It's about being in control of your own life. That means you decide your schedule. You decide what behavior is acceptable. You decide how to spend your time and energy, and she's either on board or she's not. If she respects you, she'll follow. If she doesn't, she'll leave, and that's fine. You're not afraid of her absence because you never feared being alone. Let's talk about one of the most powerful weapons a dominant man has. No, simple, brutal, direct, the most attractive word in the masculine vocabulary. You say no to drama. You say no to tests. You say no to nonsense that derails your vision. You say no to apologizing for being a man with a mission. Weak men fear no because they think it'll upset her. Strong men embrace no because they know it's the foundation of respect. A man who says no is a man who values himself. He values his time, his goals, his peace, and that energy, that's magnetic, that's irresistible. Women might pretend they want a guy who always agrees, but deep down, they want to be led. They want to be told no when they step out of line. They want to feel that masculine firmness, that masculine strength. And I know this will offend the weak, but truth doesn't care about your feelings. Truth is this: when you stand firm, she feels safe, not because you control her, but because she knows you're in control of yourself. And when a man is in control of himself, he's in control of the relationship. Now, dominance isn't just emotional, it's also physical and financial. You must dominate your fitness. You must dominate your finances. You must dominate your schedule, your environment, your priorities. A man who is physically weak, financially unstable, emotionally reactive can never truly be dominant. He may fake it. He may bark louder, but inside he knows he's not in charge. He's surviving, not leading. And women can smell that energy from a mile away. You want to be uncontrollable. You want to be respected. Then start dominating the basics. Hit the gym daily, stack your money, control your sleep, your diet, your attention. Cut out weakness in all its forms. The more disciplined you become, the less reactive you'll be, and the less reactive you are, the more attractive you become. Because a woman cannot control a man who has mastered himself. Let's flip the script now. Imagine being the man she doesn't even try to manipulate because she knows it won't work. Imagine being the man whose presence shifts her energy. Imagine being the man who walks into the room and she straightens up, softens her tone, and shows respect. That's not built overnight. That's built through repetition, through years of refusing to be weak, through decisions that make you stronger, even when they cost you comfort. And here's the kicker. Once you become that man, you stop chasing women altogether. They come to you, they admire you, they surrender to your leadership, not because you begged, not because you flexed, but because your energy is rare and rarity is power. So here's your challenge. Stop explaining. Start deciding, stop reacting, start leading, stop chasing validation. Start building dominance, not toxic dominance, not insecure dominance, real dominance, the kind that doesn't speak but commands. The kind that doesn't fear loss but attracts loyalty, the kind that doesn't break even when tested. You become that man and suddenly the game changes. She stops trying to control you because she knows she's finally with a man who cannot be moved by manipulation. He can only be moved by mission, and that is the man women dream of, men envy, and the world respects. You don't yell to lead. You don't beg to earn love. You lead with calm power. You attract with purpose. You command with silence. You dominate with presence. Be that man. You've come this far, you've stopped chasing her approval. You've built emotional dominance. You've claimed back your time, your vision, your energy. But the journey isn't done, because being uncontrollable isn't just about saying no to her. It's about saying yes to your purpose. See, too many men get stuck halfway. They build the outer shell, gym body, money, silence, but inside, they're still empty, still waiting for her to give life meaning, still secretly hoping she texts back, gives permission, brings motivation. You're not top G because you lift weights. You're top G when your life becomes a mission, when you are the center of gravity, not her mood, not her approval, not her body. So let's break the illusion. Women don't respect men who orbit around them. They respect the man who makes her orbit him. They want a man they can admire, a man they can't influence with tears, tantrums, or silence, a man whose actions speak louder than any drama. So how do you become the mission? You start building a life so solid, so focused, so obsessed with excellence that anything or anyone not aligned with it becomes irrelevant. She doesn't become the purpose, she becomes a passenger in the vehicle of your greatness. That doesn't mean you disrespect her. It means you lead her, and leadership requires you to have direction. It means she joins your mission, not that you abandon your purpose to join her emotions. Because here's the truth, when a man abandons his mission for love, he kills both. She loses respect, he loses momentum, and soon neither is satisfied. Do you think the world's most powerful men got there by constantly texting, "Good morning, babe," and asking, "Are you mad at me?" No. They rose because they put legacy before lust, discipline before dopamine, focus before feelings. Women don't want a perfect man, they want a man with vision. A man who wakes up early not because he has to, but because he's on a warpath. A man who trains, reads, invests, builds even when no one is watching. A man whose presence alone tells the world, this man is going places with or without you. Now let's talk about energy. If you constantly give her the energy you should be giving your mission, you'll lose both. You'll drain your purpose chasing temporary peace. You'll burn your ambition trying to fix problems that aren't yours. And the result, you become tired, distracted, soft, and she starts controlling the frame, not because she's evil, but because you dropped your masculine role. Women don't crave control, they just step into power when the man stops leading. If she feels like the man in the relationship, she'll start acting like one. She'll test, she'll challenge, she'll push, and if you keep folding, she'll lose trust even if she still loves you, because love without respect dies a slow death. But when you stay locked into your mission, when your time, attention, energy is guarded like treasure, she starts acting differently. She speaks softer. She respects your space. She doesn't waste time with mind games. Why? Because she knows this man doesn't play. This man doesn't chase. This man builds. And when you build, you earn freedom. Freedom to walk away from toxic people. Freedom to attract you partners. Freedom to say no, not out of anger, but from a place of purpose. Here's something men forget. She's watching how you treat your life. If you're lazy, undisciplined, sloppy, she mirrors that energy back to you. She gossips more, she tests more, she distracts more. But when you're locked in, when your routine is sacred, your goals are serious, your decisions are final, she transforms. because a woman wants to fall into your frame, not force one on you. Your mission becomes your filter. If she supports it, she stays. If she hinders it, she's gone. Simple. No emotion, no war, just standards. Let me give you the biggest secret of all. The more you invest in your mission, the less you even notice games. The more you elevate yourself, the less her reactions control your direction. You're no longer needing her. You're choosing her, and that choice is powerful, because you can't be controlled by what you don't fear losing. And when your life is rich, full, and progressing, the fear disappears. Think about the men you admire. They don't bend. They don't seek validation. They're too busy dominating the world to worry about a passive-aggressive text. They're not cruel, they're centered, they don't hate women, they just won't be ruled by one. That's your blueprint. So how do you close this transformation? You audit your life, look at your day. Are you waking up with purpose or checking her texts first thing? Are you hitting the gym or scrolling her Instagram stories? Are you building wealth or draining your time on meaningless validation? Because you can't serve two masters, comfort and greatness. Choose. If you want to be the man she can't control, you must master yourself first. And self-mastery begins with discomfort. You sacrifice now so you never beg later. You train now so you never apologize for being a man. You focus now so no woman, no matter how beautiful, can derail your empire. Remember this, she's not your mission. She's a reward if she supports the mission. And if she doesn't, she's gone. You're still standing. You're still focused. You're still winning because you are the mission, and missions don't chase. They conquer. So now you've heard the truth most men will never accept. You want to be the man she can't control. Then stop being the man who needs to be saved. Start being the man who saves himself. Build your body, guard your mind, stack your money, lock in your goals. Let your mission become so powerful, so dominant that even love must kneel before it. This is the way of the top G. This is the way of the man she can't control. Be him or be forgotten. Decide now.